everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a Sephora haul try-on video. I have so many amazing products out here in front of me and I'm excited to try them on and share my thoughts with you guys. I just got home from my month-long vacation in Florida. There's been so much new makeup launched since I've been gone and I'm just happy to be back in front of the camera, back with you guys and share some of these products that I recently picked up and just chit chat. This video is in partnership with Sephora. They were kind enough to reach out to me and wanted to partner up, and I always love partnering with Sephora because it's pretty much where I buy 99% of my makeup. All of my Oribe hair products I get at Sephora. Most of my perfume I buy from Sephora, so it's always nice to partner with a brand like Sephora. If you guys have never shopped at Sephora, I highly recommend it, whether you're gonna shop online or in store. Don't forget to become a Beauty Insider member. There's a lot of perks when you become a Beauty Insider member. Get birthday perks, which mine was just in May. So on one of my orders that I ordered in May, I added this to my cart. This happened to be one of the birthday gifts that they were giving out in the month of May. This is from Kosas. So I just got this for free for being a Beauty Insider member. And I've been a Rouge member for many, many, many years. When the events come along and they have 20, 15, 10%, you definitely want to be an Inside member so you can take advantage during those events. Every time you shop, you gain points. As your points build, you can get either free product or you can use them to get money off of your order. If you're shopping at Sephora, definitely become a Beauty Insider member. I will leave all of that information down in the description box down below. It's really easy. You just put in your email, your name, your phone number, all of that. And then every time you go into a Sephora, they can look up your account by your phone number. Thank you again to Sephora for partnering with me on this video. Let's go ahead and jump into this makeup try-on haul. All the products that I use and talk about in today's video, I will link them all down in the description box down below. I will also list all of these products in the comment section. I will pin it to the top so that you can just click on it and see all that information there. So with all of that out of the way, you guys, let's go ahead and jump into this try-on haul. I'm going to first start with this foundation. This is new from Fenty Beauty. This is called their Soft Lit Naturally Luminous Longwear Foundation. I bought this in the shade 265. It might be a little bit too warm for me, but I think I might be able to make it work. As you can see, my hyperpigmentation is coming out to play. I spent a month in Florida, and even though I was ridiculously obsessed with wearing sunscreen on my face, to the point where I had a white face as I was at the pool with a ton of people on Memorial Day weekend. In fact, my daughter snapped this photo of me. I just did not care. You know, I always say I just turned 45 and I'm like, I do not care what people think. So yeah, it was quite hysterical. But even though I wore a lot of sunscreen, it just is what it is. Whenever the sun comes out and summer comes, my hyperpigmentation will kind of start to come through. But once fall comes and I'm out of the sun, I can go back to using a little bit of retinol and it'll go back underneath the surface. So because of that, I am excited that this is a nice medium coverage and hopefully I can get some of this covered. I have not watched anybody's reviews on this. I don't know how anybody's feeling about this foundation, but I'm excited to give it a try and just see how well it works. So I'm just gonna put one pump here on the back of my hand because I'd like to get a decent amount of coverage. I'm gonna use this brush from Hourglass and then I'm just gonna start kind of pushing it into the skin. Now I kind of feel like it's kind of like setting on top of the skin. So I'm going to grab a little bit here on my sponge and I'm going to kind of push this into the skin. Hopefully it's showing up on camera. It's showing through the monitor, but like you can kind of see places where it's at on the skin and where it's not. I don't know. I'm going to kind of keep working this. This might just be one of those foundations that you really kind of have to work it into the skin. This is definitely not my color, so we're going to point that out real fast. I think once, I mean, it kind of matches, you know, my face is quite red, but it does match my neck. So we're going to hope for the best, but it's definitely not a good color for me. I'm just going to go ahead and put it all over and then try to push it in. It's a little yellow, wouldn't you say? Oh my gosh. I'm going to just kind of keep, sometimes when you get it all on, it doesn't look as ridiculous. My face is quite red, but oh my goodness. Yeah, it's just not my shade. We're going to keep going. We are going to keep rocking and rolling, you guys, because I'm hoping that like once I get the rest of my makeup on, the shade won't look as bad as it does right now. One can hope, right? Let's just keep going. Let's just keep this ball game going here. So 265 is described as a warm olive. And I would not say this is olive because typically with olive, it's not going to be this yellow. You know, olive will have a little bit of green in it. And I feel like this is definitely more of a yellow base. However, as I keep kind of pushing this into the skin with a sponge, I do like how it's looking. It's not getting patchy anywhere and it's not looking like makeup-y anywhere. And a little goes a long way. I will say that it is one of those foundations where you don't really need to add a lot. And I'm looking at it through this like 8 times mirror, which is how I've been doing my makeup the last several months. And typically I look for those spots where it might be, you know, built up weird, patchy weird anywhere, because it looks so natural. Like even in my creases and stuff, it looks really natural. So I think I'm gonna leave it here. I'm gonna go ahead and put some concealer on my eyelids to try to cancel out this red craziness. And then I'll do my brows and I'll be right back. Let's go ahead and move on to concealer. I have these concealers, which are new to me. These are from Makeup Forever, the HD Skin. I have 2 shades. I have 2.5 neutral and 2.4 yellow. Because the foundation is so yellow, I might go ahead and use the neutral. I'm just gonna wipe off the applicator here. This is the neutral, right? Yeah. And put some here. I wiped off the applicator, so it looks like I'm applying a lot, but I'm not. I am just using what's kind of inside the sponge. And now I'm just gonna blend that out. And then I'm going to push it into the skin with my sponge. We'll kind of see how that sets and plays throughout the day. Let's go ahead and move on to the product that I'm really excited to try. When I got home from Florida, Makeup by Mario had sent this huge like PR box full of goodies, which I was so grateful and so excited about. This was not a part of PR. I actually just purchased this. I've been seeing this all over my Instagram for like the last couple of weeks, and I am so excited to try this. And I bought this in the shade medium. Now, the cool thing about this product is that it has 2 ways of applying it. So you can either use the pump, which that's one pump, or it has this little applicator, which is fabulous. I'm going to put a little bit of this in the brush. I think I'm going to use the sponge tip applicator. I'm just going to apply. I don't know how much to do. I don't know. It looks pretty lightweight and manageable. Oh, that is so pretty. You guys, this is so natural and okay, let's see. It kind of reminds me of the liquid version of this, which is, I didn't really understand this product when I first got it. This is the Transforming Skin Enhancer. I didn't really understand this when I first got it, but I am obsessed with this. This is sometimes all I wear as bronzer. It's so natural, and it kind of just gives you a hint of something without being too much. I have just been absolutely loving this just to kind of throw on. So I had a feeling that I would really love this because of the, like, not only the simplicity of it, but just how natural it looks. And it didn't disappoint. This is pretty. So I'm going to go ahead and build this up. And it's almost like foolproof. Like, you can't mess this up if you wanted to. The shade medium seems like kind of perfect for my skin tone. Kind of put a little bit there in that hairline. Gosh, this is a gorgeous bronzer, you guys. Wow. I was so excited to try this. Look how gorgeous that looks. It's like sun-kissed in like the best way. Gosh, that's pretty. That just gave some color to the face. It's like perfect. Really, really, really pretty. So the next product I picked up was this blush. This is new from Kosas. So these are called Blush is Life. These are baked dimensional plus a brightening blush. And I absolutely love baked blush. So when I saw that Kosas was coming out with that, I was all over it. I picked up the shade Bliss, which is a warm peachy pink. I love, love baked blushes. That's so pretty. Okay, so this reminds me of the Hourglass blushes. Yeah, I got a little carried away. I always do with blush. It's like my jam. So this reminds me of the blushes from Hourglass. I also love the baked blushes from Milani. They have gorgeous baked blushes, but these are beautiful. So these are formulated with skincare additives. So it has hyaluronic acid and squalane, which is good for those of you who have dry skin, right? It's not going to be super drying. One reason why I like baked blushes is because they build really pretty. They're not like super duper pigmented. Like, you can kind of see this has like that pearl finish to it. And it's kind of, the pearl finish is baked into the powder, into like the blush powder. So when you go to put it on, it's good for somebody like me because I can get really heavy-handed with blush. So when I'm wanting a really soft blush look where it doesn't look like I literally put too much on, I will reach for a baked over a powder formula. Especially right now, like, we're overloaded with a lot of beautiful, like, very pigmented blushes. I actually swatched the new ones from House Labs when I was in store, and I was like, dang, those blushes are pigmented, and they're not really good for me because I can get way too heavy-handed. I prefer a blush that's a little bit more buildable, and like, I kind of steer clear of those that are really strong pigmented because I know I can get heavy-handed, and I do not want a lot of blush on. Like, I'm seeing a lot of those videos on TikTok and stuff where some of these gorgeous girls are able to wear like that really strong pigmented blush, but I just can't. Even though I have done it many times because I do get heavy-handed with blush, but it doesn't really look all that flattering on me. So if you are like me and you can get really heavy-handed with a powder blush, I recommend trying a baked formula. This is really pretty. They did a really good job on these. Packaging is nice and sturdy, and yeah, they did a good job on the formula. Next, we're gonna move on to powder. So I did go ahead and pick up this Hourglass powder. All the other products I've used in this video are first impression. This is not. This I bought like right before I went to Florida. I've been using it nonstop. I took this and my Charlotte Tilbury powder with me just so I could kind of get a feel for it. And I really like it. I picked up the shade Translucent Medium. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the Charlotte Tilbury on one side, which I have the Charlotte Tilbury in medium. I'm gonna put the Charlotte Tilbury on one side and then the Hourglass on the other. So I'm gonna take this side of the brush and press it on this side. Just to kind of smooth everything out. I'm gonna take the other side of the brush, do the same thing, tap off, and go in. Like I said, I've been using this for a while. The differences that I'm seeing between these two powders is I feel like Charlotte Tilbury has more of a pickup, and I'm using a natural hair brush, right? Which will pick up more product. So if you use a synthetic brush, it's not going to pick up as much product it won't pick up as much powder as a real hair brush. I would say the Charlotte Tilbury is a little thicker, a little heavier of a powder, meaning that more picks up on the brush. Let me just kind of show you. This will be a good example. So I'm going to sweep it like this, okay? You can see how much picks up on this brush, right? Okay. Now I'm going to turn it over and do the same thing on the Hourglass. Now, this is the Hourglass side. This is the Charlotte Tilbury side. So what I'm noticing between the two powders is Charlotte Tilbury is a little thicker, and meaning that it applies a little thicker. I hate saying that word because it's not really thick, but like the Hourglass to me applies more like a light veil. And I would say the Charlotte Tilbury is heavier. That's the best word, not thicker, heavier. Charlotte Tilbury powder is a little heavier than the Hourglass. So if you're someone that has tried the Charlotte Tilbury powder and you just cannot get it to work, it looks really heavy on the places that you apply it, you might really like the Hourglass, because as you can tell from, like, I don't even need to know what side, I know by looking at it. You can see on this brush, so this is the Hourglass side. You can kind of see that it picked up a light layer of it. This is the Charlotte Tilbury side, and see how much is sitting inside the bristles. It's just a heavier, thicker powder than the Hourglass. You can kind of see it now looking at my under eyes. So this is the Charlotte Tilbury side. This side is definitely more mattified than this side. This side is like it's set down, right? I have powder on. So my concealer and stuff isn't tacky, but it's still has a shine to it. It still has a natural shine to it because it's not as heavy as the Charlotte Tilbury. So I actually quite like it. Now I've tried it once or twice with the powder applicator, and I don't mind it. You can see that it applies it more like the Charlotte Tilbury side. So if you use this pad that comes with the powder, it's going to give you a little bit more, it's going to give you a little bit more of a thicker, heavier application, a little bit more heavy duty, if you will. But if you're looking for just a light veil of finishing powder that will kind of set your makeup but not mattify it, then I would use a brush, whether synthetic or natural hair, either way. It's a pretty powder. I have been using my big Hourglass brush and going into it and just kind of going over my makeup very lightly. Just to kind of lightly set everything, but you can kind of still see that shine is still there, which I like that about this powder. Let's go ahead and move on to the eyes. Now, I recently picked up the Golden Palette from Natasha Denona, and I'm actually going to do a full video on this with a few more looks, but I wanted to try it out today. Again, first impressions. This is a beautiful palette, like gorgeous, gorgeous tones. Okay, what I'm first going to do Makeup Forever also sent me a bunch of new pencils from their artist collection. They've already sent me several of them and that I love. My favorite is the Endless Cacao. Oh, I love that. But I also just noticed that they sent over this one, which is called Whatever Black. So I'm going to open this up. And they sent it in this cute little pouch. I'm going to take this black and just kind of put it up on my waterline just to kind of... Okay, then I'm gonna take this brown from Makeup by Mario and I'm gonna bring it like all around my lower lash line, like right at the base of my lashes. And then I'm gonna use the brush to blend it out. I'm also going to put this right up here. I think I'm going to do it all the way around, actually. I'm going to put it right at the base of my lashes on both. Oh, I hate it when my camera does that. It wants to focus on everything but what I'm doing. I have some eyeliner on, some smokiness around the eyes. Let's move on to the eyeshadow. This is a cream. I think it's a cream. Where's my... It's got to be a cream. Yeah, so Milko is a cream powder, not creamy. It's a cream powder. And I'm gonna grab a little bit of that and place it right here on the lid. Just to kind of use it as a base and kind of brighten everything up. That's why I'm using kind of a wispier brush. So these artist pencils, ooh, I don't really like it in the waterline because it's just like, I feel like it's falling all over my under eye and I keep having to take my concealer brush and kind of fix. So I don't know that I would recommend using that as an upper waterline pencil. See how what I'm saying? Like it's clumping up right there and it just keeps like falling. It like clumps together and then falls. I do not like that. So yeah, I would not recommend using those pencils in the waterline. While I have this smudge brush, I'm gonna take the middle shade right here. I'm gonna bring that like right over top of that brown eyeliner I laid down. And then I'm just gonna like blend it all out. I'm also going to take a tiny bit of that and go up here on the upper. I'm just kind of like stamping it over top of that color that we had down. Okay, I'm gonna go into the shade Paris, this one right here, and I'm gonna put that on my eyelid. Okay, then I'm gonna take a crease brush and I'm gonna go into Aria, this one right here, and I'm gonna sweep that in the crease. Blend it up into that color. Super pigmented, by the way, you guys. Wow. I'm gonna grab a little bit of this fizzy and I'm gonna use the flat definer from Sonia G. And I'm gonna bring that, oh, the stupid camera. I'm gonna bring that like right in that inner corner. And then just kind of like fade it into that other color. I'm gonna take a little bit of this log color right here, this dark kind of cool tone brown, and I'm gonna bring a little bit of that like right here on the base of that crease, just to add a little bit of dimension out here. I'm gonna grab a little bit of this aura right here. I just want to see what it looks like because it's so pretty in the pan. And I want to take a tiny bit and sneak it like right here. I'm going to put a little bit of that like right here. Just a tiny bit, just to kind of give a little bit of something right there. Ooh, so pretty. I'm going to take a tiny, tiny brush and I'm gonna go into log and I'm gonna focus that right here on the base of my lower lashes. I'm gonna take that one brush and just kind of blend them all together. I'm gonna go ahead and finish the other eye, throw on some mascara, and when I come back, we will jump into the lippy that I got. So I will be right back. Let's move on to lip. And Makeup by Mario sent me 3 of their Super Satin lipsticks. So we have Chelsea, which is a really pretty, like, orangey red. It has more of that orange base to it, which actually would go really pretty with this look. It really would. Because it has that warm orange base to it, it looks pretty with this eye look. Next up, we have Bronx Baby. It's a really pretty kind of purpley nude color. A really pretty nude, and it's nice because it's like a cool tone color. So this color would be really pretty with a lot of like cool tone palettes. The last one I have is Flat Iron, which is a warm kind of like peachy nude. Really pretty. And this is the one I'm gonna wear for this eye look. Okay, so I'm gonna put on the Endless Cacao. Now I'm gonna put on a lipstick. Okay, so this is the final look, and I'm gonna go ahead and put on my favorite perfume. Oh, I just finished this bottle up when I went to Florida. So I went ahead and got me a new one, and I accidentally ordered the smaller size. I wasn't really paying much attention when I ordered it. Ugh. When you have a favorite perfume that you love, always buy it in the largest size. Even though it's more money out the gate, you get the best bang for your buck buying it that way. So you can see the difference between the sizes. This is the 1 ounce. And this, I think, is a 3 ounce, 3.7 ounce. I'll have to put it down here at the bottom of the screen, but you can definitely see a difference between the 2 bottles. Highly recommend buying it in this size if you love it like I do. But oh my gosh, this is such a good perfume. One of my favorites for the summer. Actually, I wear it all year, to be honest. But the fragrance description is a sun-kissed salty skin, and it's the Beach Walk. It is so good, and it will last me all day. A lot of my shirts that I wear, like to dinner or something, if I don't get anything on it, I like to wash them like every 2 or 3 times I wear them. Now, if I'm wearing something all day and I've gotten sweaty, of course I'm gonna wash it. But if it's a shirt that, you know, I put on, went to dinner, didn't get anything on it, I'll just hang it back up, put it in the closet, and wait till the next time, right? And this is one of those fragrances that I can smell it on my clothes the next time I pull it out of my closet and put it on. Like, as I'm putting it on, I'm like, oh, I must have been wearing Beach Walk that day. So if you're looking for a really good summer fragrance, this is it. This is it right here. Another item that I picked up on my last Sephora haul was this. This is the Donna Karan Cashmere Mist deodorant. This is the only deodorant that works for me in the summer. I've tried so many different deodorants. I've tried the Secret, I've tried Degree, Dove, Lumi, a couple of all natural ones. None of them work for me like the Donna Karan. So I recently grabbed it. I wish I would have had it in Florida because that's where I was really struggling to try to find that right deodorant. And I should have just ordered it when I was there, but I didn't. I waited till I got home, and highly recommend it. It's one of my favorites. So let's go ahead and briefly talk about the products that I used in today's video. The foundation, when I was doing my lips, I was noticing it's starting to get a little bit heavy in certain places. And I don't know, I'm still kind of on the fence about it. You can see that my skin has a nice like luminosity to it. And don't get me wrong, it's much more reflective because of these lights. Like if I was just like out in natural daylight, I don't think that my skin would be shining quite like it is right now because of these lights. Yes, the color is off. It's definitely way too yellow. So if you have an olive undertone, I wouldn't get this shade because it's way too yellow to be a warm olive. So kind of keep that in mind. But the nice thing about Fenty is they do have 50 shades. And so I think I'm going to take this one back and maybe have a Sephora representative like shade match me, because that is the nice thing about Sephora. They always have somebody there to help you get your right shade match. So I think I will return this and have them help me find a good shade match. The concealer, I actually quite like this concealer. I would say it's more of like a medium coverage. It's not a full coverage concealer, but I kind of like it. I do. I'm going to continue to wear it. This is like my first time trying it. Foundation and concealer, I have to wear them several times for me to kind of get a good feel for them. But so far, I think it is a pretty concealer. I would say it's a nice medium coverage, and I don't feel like it's weighing heavy in my under eyes. So yeah, so far, so good. This is the star of the show. Like, this is my new favorite purchase. This Makeup by Mario. This is absolutely phenomenal. Such a beautiful natural bronzer. If you love the skin enhancer in the cream, you will love this liquid bronzer. It is absolutely gorgeous. What I also like about it is that it blends out really natural, and it's not too much pigment where you have to kind of work hard to blend it out. But it's really natural, and it kind of just enhances the skin, gives you a little bit of bronze without being too much. It is superb, amazing. And same goes for the blush. Like, the blush is absolutely beautiful. And like I said, I do like a baked blush. And if you're like me and you're heavy-handed, I recommend trying out a baked blush, because I think that you will probably have much better control over your application with a baked blush. So I recommend trying it. But this is a beautiful shade, beautiful formula, and they did a good job on it. Same goes for the Hourglass powder. I really like this powder. I've been using it for like the last month now, maybe month and a half now. And it is a really nice powder. And like I mentioned during the application, if the Charlotte Tilbury is a little bit too thick for you, maybe a little too drying, I recommend trying this one from Hourglass, because it's a little lighter on the under eyes especially. It's not quite as thick as the Charlotte Tilbury powder, so this might just be absolutely perfect for you. Now, as far as the eyeshadow palette goes, I'm so excited to continue to play with this. I also just got the new Charlotte Tilbury foundation. This is the Unreal Sheer Skin Glow tint, so I will be kind of playing around with this, and while I'm filming and playing around with that, I will do a video on this just to kind of play around with this palette and do a few more looks with it. So that concludes the video. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me in this video. I hope you guys all have a wonderful day, and I will see you guys all in my next video. Love you. Bye.